Hey guys, it's Brian here, and welcome to episode 63 of our Liverpool Career Mode series, the last episode of this season as we finish up our final 3 games this season, root and try and find our way into the Champions League, and also talk a little bit about the transfer that we're going to be making going ahead into Season 4. Those are all things we're going to get into in this episode. We're going to start off a game here against Wolverhampton, move on to another one against Tottenham, probably the most important game for us here, and then the final game of the season against Sunderland, and we'll see where we end up at the end of the episode. With that said too, a lot has gone on today. I don't know if this is going up today or tomorrow, but Xbox One revealed, FIFA 14 announced for next-gen consoles, PS4 and Xbox One. I'm very excited. What I'm going to be doing potentially with that said is I'll be buying for current-gen consoles FIFA 14, and I'll be buying for next-gen consoles too. So that might put a bit of a kind of wedge into some of my plans that I had previously for what I'm going to be doing for my content for FIFA 14. It almost certainly says to myself that I'll probably be doing some content on current gen and next gen, so I'm very excited to kind of talk about my plans for that, and also talk a little bit about my anticipation for the series going ahead into the next gen consoles. But you know what, we're going to leave that for a specific video I'll be doing just in kind of a vlog format not too long from now, so we'll save that for there, as we have a very important episode here and we want to focus mainly on what's going on. So the first game here against Wolverhampton, we get a really nice start there, and I think it was a little bit lucky. We got a little bit of luck on our side there, and Suarez put that one away, doing the moonwalk as I picked up some new celebrations. I was tired of the old ones I was using, and I really don't use that many, so I tried to learn a couple new ones and see if we can implement them into our goal scoring going ahead in the future. But also, the other thing I want to talk about too is the fact that I'm going to be making another episode. Episode 64 is going to be kind of similar to the last season's off-season plan episode, but it's going to be a little bit different in the fact that it's going to be an episode where I present players to you guys and I leave it to voting in the comments section, which will essentially kind of decide who we're going to go after and who we're going to take as our players moving ahead, because we've already talked about Carrillo and Cavani likely being the guys that are leaving the squad and moving out going ahead to next season, but I want to make sure that we're bringing in the guys that you guys know, because I do play FIFA. You've seen me play this series quite a bit, but my overall knowledge of FIFA 13 and all the players involved might not be as strong as some of you. And that's when you guys come in as my scouts, as I really need you to kind of guide me in the right direction, use my skills to, kind of decipher which the player is probably the best player for me, use that in the decision making of which players we should bring in, and then hopefully get the best results, because like I said, Season 4 is going to be a very important season for us. Probably not our last season, but we're getting closer to the end of the series as we've talked about in the past. So yeah, we're going to have an episode after this one, episode 64, which I'm going to present maybe, let's say, 10 players or so. I'm going to narrow it down pretty close, and for each, kind of area I want to bring in, there'll be like 2 or 3 choices for each spot, and I'll leave it to you guys to make the final decision out of those players, and kind of help me out there before we get to episode 65 and really kind of push through the preseason and get ready for the Season 4 beginning of the season there. So yeah, with that said, that's what I'm going to be doing there for those, but we'll focus on this game here. As I was saying, probably the biggest game that we have on the schedule. When it comes down to it, this is the biggest game of the year. We've said that before for some other really big games, but the fact that this game largely kind of dictated where we're going to end up in the table, it was extremely important for us to win this game. We got the win against Wolverhampton. We're in the chase. We're nearly there. We just need a win here against Tottenham and hopefully another win on the final day of the season, kind of to secure our spot in the Champions League there. With that said, early on in this game, we're actually doing a pretty good job of really not necessarily controlling the play, but making sure that they're not scoring on us, and we get our first real chance here as Luis Suarez is able to cut to the side, take a shot, does what he does best, scores another goal for us, and you can, he is getting older, but you can see how valuable Suarez is and how we succeed when he is in that striking role. And there was a really close chance that should have gone in for them. Bale whiffs on the opportunity that turns into a corner here. And Tottenham were not short of their own opportunities, but were luckily able to keep the 1-0 lead. And Merkel, with the opportunity here, tries to finesse that shot into the net, but not able to put it in the right side of the goal there. And that's an easy save for Lloris. But we move into the second half here with a 1-0 lead. And scoreboard watching, as we can see there, Arsenal, they've got the 1-1 tie in halftime against QPR, so they can keep that tie, only get 1 point out of that. QPR can hold them off for us. That's going to even help us out even more going into the final game of the season. Nearly there with a chance to put the bow on this game, but it's far from over here. As you can see, Leno makes another big save. And Martin Kelly again starting this game, as you would see from our starting 11 there, which was a little bit of a risky endeavor. But Luis Suarez, 59th minute. It's pretty much a toe poke, but it's still a beautiful goal. Another goal for him. He's just going to score all the goals for us in this episode, as that's another beauty from Luis Suarez. But as I was saying, he is getting a little bit older, but I am no way, shape, or form I'm worried about his age, because he's been playing fantastic for us. And, you know, he's one of those players. I know you guys are not necessarily extremely happy with him and his actual behavior, the things that he's done in real life, even though he has had a great season. I feel like in our career mode, though, he has really deserved his spot in the team as a star player, and I'm really hoping to see him continue on and help us out even more going ahead in the future. But yeah, we're getting to the kind of later stages here. Chance that could have been a penalty, but luckily nothing comes of that. And at this point, to the 90th minute, we're able to kick it out, get the win against Tottenham, the all-important 3 points, the 6-point game that we really, really, really needed to win. We get the 3 points out of this one, guys, and you'll see from the standings here as we move into the final game of the season where we are sitting. The only thing I will say at this point going into the final game of the season is that the schedule, you know, wasn't too kind to us overall, because you can see here, Arsenal, they got their win out of that game, and other teams were doing pretty solid too. We got a good run here at the end of the season, but other teams were kind of sticking the landing as well and doing a good job of keeping up, and it turned into an absolute race. And these final couple games at the end of the season were fantastic to really kind of do the scoreboard watching, really make sure, or, you know, at least follow, see where we're at, and you know, keep an eye and hope, pray, because we did let it slip out of our hands against that in Manchester United when we lost them. That was a tough loss for us, because that was another 6-point game, very similar to the Tottenham one there, and that loss is looking a little bit more difficult and sad, because you know what, if we would have got the 3 points there and they would have lost that game, you're going to see at the little reveal here of the standings what that really would have meant, because they are at 74 points with 1 game to play, and Arsenal and Spurs are tied at 71 with us. They all have higher goal differential though, so we need both of them to either draw or lose their games, and we need to win our game against Sunderland if we're going to have any chance. And I was saying, it's not good to look at the past, not good to say what if, but if we would have won that game against Manchester United, we would be sitting at the 74-point mark, and everybody else would be sitting at 71 points, which would be a lot more comfortable. But unfortunately for us, that is not the case. We need to do our magic here, win this game, and just hope that both Arsenal and also Spurs too will kind of drop the ball in their game there. But early on this one, it was actually dangerous. I was getting deja vu of Season 2 as we, you know, weren't able to really close out the season the way we wanted to. This time around, Sunderland really pressing strong here. A couple really good chances. Cattermole, they're nearly able to put that one away. And not, that's the one that he should have made happen, but he wasn't able to do so. And we're able to kind of start the ball rolling in the other way. Is Julien, Germany, the free agent that has really made a major impact for the team. One of the better signings, and thank God you guys told me to look at the FAs, because, hey, we have a great center back now that we wouldn't have had otherwise for free too. So, yeah, he's really made a good impact. And going into the second half here, we have a 1-0 lead, similar to the game we had before against Spurs. But you can see here on the schedule, Wigan are losing 1-0 to Spurs, and the only good news of that was that West Brom are currently holding Arsenal to a 1-1 draw at halftime. So we got one result going our way, but the other one is not, and we are hoping that that's going to turn around this game. But regardless, we have to do our part too, and that was a bit of a just scary defending there, as we're just kind of playing just cat and mouse, trying to stay in the right spot. Luckily, we're able to, and here was a turnaround that we should have read properly, not able to do so. Luckily, though, goes off the post, and we don't have to pay for that one. Danny Pacheco, though, another shot similar to Suarez' goal that he scored in the last game, not able to put that one away, though. Sterling gets the ball over here in a little bit of a weird way. Holtby not able to do anything there. And luckily, though, the game will end 1-0, very close. And in a lot of ways, we were put up against Sunderland in the final game. Julien, Germany gained the Man of the Match award. That's all fine and dandy. But the news that I will share with you all is that Arsenal did lose, or at least drew their game. Spurs did not, though, so that means that we're going to be playing in the EuroLeague next season, which is a disappointment to say the least. But I'm going to spin it like I normally do when we do bad things, that we have been able to make it extremely far into the Champions League, so why don't we take a little stab at the EuroLeague? in Season 3, or sorry, Season 4. Win it, get all hyped up for that, do all good there, and then move into what will potentially be our final season in Season 5, and wreck ship in the Champions League. Until then, though, here are the standings. I'm going to show you everything that you'd ever want to see. The squad report, the results from the FA Cup, the Champions League, the Euro League, the Capital One Cup, and all the league standings across the league as well. But I'll leave you to the silence of FIFA 13, and stay tuned to the next episode, which will talk a little bit about who I'm targeting for Season 4, and you can help me by voting in the comment section of that video on the players you want to see, and also obviously commenting too if I'm missing on a player that you really think that I should take a look at. In the meantime, though, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned as well for the kind of video talking about Xbox One and FIFA 14, what's going to be going on with all that too. Until then, though, enjoy this episode, enjoy the rest of it, and I'll see you around in the next episode, guys. Cheers.
Third bottom, Wolverhampton Wanderers with 26 points. Fourth bottom, Blackburn Rovers with 28 points. Fifth bottom, Wigan Athletic with 34 points.